I'm ready for some high school football. News Channel 12, baby. Let's go!
Make some noise. Here comes your pirate.
We are running head first into this Friday the 13th. We see your list of superstitions, but hey, you're in luck. We have all your highlights on this week 9 edition of the Blitz.
Listen, deep in front.
Green Central and West Craven fought for first place in the Eastern Plains Conference at Clay Jordan Stadium.
Go Cats! Go Cats!
We had a big Coastal Conference clash between West Carteret and Richlands, the winner still in the hunt for the title. And Newburn dealing with more controversy this week. The Bears travel to Greenville to take on their old rivals from J.H. Rose.
Win on three, win on me. 1, 2, 3, yeah!
Hey, there's no need to check your watch. You know what time it is.
Blitz starts now!
Yes, it does. We're fired up here for week 9. It's been a controversial week for Newburn. Another one, yeah. The Bears found out they had to forfeit their first 5 wins of the season for allegedly using ineligible players. But not all lost for Newburn. If they can win their final 2 regular season games, they're back in the playoffs. But those games are both in Pitt County, starting with rival J.H. Rose, who's been on a hot streak. The Rapids had won 3 in a row coming into this game, which is our Mac Daddy's Blitz Premier matchup. Newburn and J.H. Rose all tied at 14 at Percy Daniels Field. And then third quarter, here comes Manny Johnson running. Manny Johnson running? We haven't seen Manny Johnson run all year, but he goes 43 yards and showing a burst of speed. Newburn takes the 20-13 lead in the third quarter. Will Bland says, well, I got to find something offensively to match that. He has his guy, Jadon Lovett, who's taken over the quarterback role. He finds Justin Biggs, the St. Paul's transfer. He hauls it in. That sets up Jameer Roach at the goal line, and the Roach scatters in, and that gave Rose the 21-20 lead. And former Rose star and Kansas City wide receiver Cornell Powell back watching his alma mater. But also watch Manny Johnson have problems with cramps. Had to leave the game for a while, but came back in and watch number 3. I said watch number 3 sneak in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. That gave Newburn the 26-21 lead. Terrence actually says, okay, we got to keep ourselves quiet and play some defense here. Robert Magwood came up big at the end of the game. A couple of huge plays for 65. Look at him sack the quarterback. Newburn gets the emotional 26-21 win, and they were fired up about it.
Football is our safe place. Being on the practice field is our safe place. I got great coaches. I got great parents that follow me. I got a great administrative team that follow me that say, hey, we're going to support you, all right? And my coach is supporting these kids, and we're going to do everything we can regardless of our situation. We control what we can control, and we're going to play until the end, and that's all we can do.
And I just brought us back to this win. I just thank the coaches, the boys, they kept faith in us. They kept faith in me. My coaches kept faith in me, and we just came here, got it done. Now let's go back to Newburn.
That was Manny Johnson fired up. The Bears finish the regular season next Friday when they travel to D.H. Conley, which is the one team the Bears have to beat in the standings to get in the playoffs, since they're the only 2 4A teams in the Big Carolina Conference. Speaking of Conley, the Vikings travel to Jacksonville to take on a Cardinals team coming off its first loss of the season. Would it be sweet or sour music for Jacksonville in this one? Well, when you have Demon June, that's usually pretty sweet. Number 9. Watch him shove his way into the end zone. Oh, is he a beast? And he's just a junior as Jacksonville high-fiving their way into the end zone. And then, how about Eric Griffin? He's going to give Nate Connor more headaches trying to stop that Jacksonville offense. Griffin takes it in. Just like that, the Cardinals were flying high and in control over D.H. Conley. They get the win over DHC, 52-14. Havelock back to being undefeated with their forfeit win over Newburn. The first place Rams travel to South Central to take on the Falcons. Senior night in Winterville for South Central. And then it would be Havelock going to work. First drive, they would hand it off and score to Jalen Morgan. He makes it 8-0. Chris Cherry trying to do the best job he can with South Central this year and calling some plays, but on 4th down, they decide to go for the fake punt. That's not going to work because, well, Darden had himself a huge game. Number 5 had a pick 6, several tackles for loss. Jonathan Williams getting used to the quarterback role, smiling. Hey, Jonathan, let's see you throw it with that left hand. He's going to do just that. He's going to find Blake Hyman for 2 touchdown catches for Blake. Havelock stays undefeated. They get the win, 40-12. All right, the young Jedi, Luke Schwartz, is now here to talk about the East Central Conference. That's for Wallace Rose Hill, the preseason pick to win it all, but they had a slow start to the season.
They did, and thank you, Master North. Yes. They lost their first 3 non-conference games, but the Bulldogs have been barking ever since they've won their last 4 by an average of 45 points. Kinston was tasked with trying to slow them down. They met in K-Town at Vikings Stadium as the cheerleaders were rooting on their Vikings too. Big game. With East Duplin next week, the Vikings put their 21-game win streak on the line against the South Lenore team they have dominated. But Wallace Rose Hill, this one, it's to Irving Brown, and you're going to see him just streak right up the middle of the field. Hold up, folks. There's an earthquake, Category 7 here. It's shaking everybody except for Irving Brown, and he'll brace his way into the end zone. Kinston, the head coach, not too happy about that call right there.
Diesel.
And right here, you're going to see this catch and tackled by Wallace Rose Hill. Big win for the Bulldogs in this one against the Vikings, 62-18.
All right, big game with East Duplin next week. The Vikings put their 21-game win streak on the line against the South Lenore team they've dominated through the years, and that domination continued tonight. Check out East Duplin. They've got so many guys in the backfield to hand it off to. Elam Moore, one of our favorites, he takes it in. It's like he has a touchdown at least one every game. And then here comes East again, this time from that wing tee, and it is Jeremiah Judge. All rise and all sit down. East Duplin rolls in this one. They get the shutout victory, 54-0. Elsewhere in the ECC, North Lenore traveled to Warsaw to take on James Keenan, and the Hawks looking for their second win of the year. James Keenan trying to stay in that mix. Here comes the Hawks on offense, and they're going to sneak it in. And how about that? Hawk time, that's their big stud taking it in. Malik Fuller, but on the ensuing kickoff, here come the Tigers. Is that what Tiger? What's a Tiger sound like? There we go. More
that sounds like a house cat.
Tyquise Wilson doesn't want to hear our antics. He just wants us to hear him say his name as he takes it all the way back. James Keenan gets the win, 41-6. Let's check in on the private schools. John Paul II, they hosted Hargrave Military Academy, an 11-man game for JP2 tonight. Doesn't matter how many are on the field, you can't catch Kevion Moore. Check out number 5, covering up that ball and making a nice run down into the red zone, and then you give it to number 5 again. Number 5. Kevion's going to take it in for the 14-0 lead. Hey, welcome back, Ryan Roseborough. The former star, now at Towson playing defensive line, and he watched another 9 make a nice defensive tackle here. JP2 gets the win over Hargrave, 28-0.
Now let's go to Bethel Christian Academy at home against Northeast Academy with some wings. Are you hungry, Brian? Look at those. Right, my goodness, they look ready to pop into your mouth. And early on, Bethel Christian trying to score some points. Just 14 early on the season as Walt Eubanks trying to give his team some inspiration. But Nathan Trevino, a big-time rush up the middle. Later, it would be senior night, of course, but Dalton Van here, the quarterback, says, you know what, I'm going to call my own number for the big 38-8 win for Northeast Academy.
All right, one more private game to show you. In Liberty Christian hosting their second ever home game at their Richlands campus. Homecoming for the Heat. They hosted St. David's, and it would be Jameer Smokes who's going to smoke that Heat defense. And Liberty Christian falls again, 72-0 at home. All right, plenty more highlights to show you, but first, our Coastal Carolina community college fans in the stands. Let's take you to Richlands. Could they get the big win over West Carteret? Those highlights are coming up next. All right, thank you for watching the Blitz. We started the night with 2 teams tied for first place in the Coastal Conference. That would be White Oak way up there and Richlands. They meet next week. The Wildcats, though, had a tough home test against West Carteret tonight. The Patriots coming off their first league loss to White Oak. Now those Wildcats ready to go in the second half. This one all tied up. And check this out. Crazy little play by Richlands. There's a lateral. And there's a lateral. I didn't get a lot of gain, but, you know, it's kind of cool when you see them do something like that. The stands were full tonight because they love their football in Richlands when they're playing well. West Carteret had their pass intercepted by Richlands, leading to a safety, and that's how this one finished. Richlands 12-10, so they've got a big game with White Oak next week. Speaking of the Okies, they made the short trip south to Dixon to take on those Bulldogs, and it was homecoming in the southern part of Onslow County. White Oak doesn't care. Teravion Maggio. He doesn't care either. He is just bruising people running into the end zone. Dixon, though, look, they love to run that single wing, and they've got Josiah Hinton doing just that. Keep your eye on number 5 as he takes it in for the score, but White Oak too much tonight as they are going to go to the air. Joshua Smith to his man, 26 for the touchdown. White Oak gets the big win. Hey, we had the ice cream bowl between Highway 24 neighbors Swansboro and Croatan. You scream ice cream, I want some highlights. Josh Steffi runs up the middle for a touchdown for Croatan, and the Cougs on the board at home. Then Swansboro's going to come right back. Austin Gagnon. He's looking for Jordan Coleman. He's got him in the end zone. 31, just a freshman, but boy, he's having a really good season. But here comes Croatan. They're going to come right back. Cannon McBride. Is that Scotty's son? Comes through with the field goal. And they even had the Halloween masks out. Where's Jason? There he is. Swansboro, Amari Canes is going to try to get it in, but Croatan gets the win 10-7, so they get the ice cream bowl. Coastal Plains Conference, only one team has a winning record. That is your first place Northside. I'm so mad at myself for not doing this right. All right, they traveled to Trenton to take on Jones Senior. I was almost on my helmet game tonight. Northside, undefeated in the conference, and they came out shaking hands, and then they said, here we go. We are going to go right up the middle and gone. That is Jamie Corprew, and he takes it in for the score, and then Northside's going to come right back again with Malachi Moore. Easy score for him, and that's kind of the way it went tonight. Jones Senior, their special teams have just been an issue this year. Look at that blocked punt, and that is recovered by Carmelo Soto, and Northside gets another Corprew touchdown in the 40-0 win. All right, let's check out Pamlico, fresh off its first win. Travel to Beaufort to take on East Carteret, also fresh off its first win. And those Hurricanes looking for Jaden Williams. He wears number 8, and there he goes, right up the gut. And brought down inside the 30. That's going to set up Antoine King. We profiled him earlier today. Torn ACL. Doctors cleared him to play anyways as long as he can tolerate the pain. And he's going to take it in for the go-ahead touchdown. And Pamlico make it 2 wins in a row. They get the victory at East Carteret, 13-7. What a story, Antoine King with that torn ACL. One other Coastal Plains Conference score. Let's clean things up with our Connecticut Systems scoreboard as Southside goes aboard Camp Lejeune and gets the win, 69-34. Hey, Beargrass Charter hosted Mount Zion in a non-conference game. And them Bears, good crowd out in that part of Martin County checking things out. And check out the guys in blue. As Braden Taylor and company, Terry Perry looking on. He was proud of his squad as they picked up a big win tonight as they get the victory behind Connor Clifton and company, 42-6. So Beargrass continuing to chug right along in Martin County. Let's let them score here before we move on to the next highlight. And there they go. Four Rivers Conference, Bertie continued its season of road games because the field is being fixed. They travel to Hereford to take on Perquimans Thursday night. Our main man Streets.Nation getting us highlights. Darius Wesson's team down 3 at the half, but Tyvion Ward, the touchdown pass to Mir Dempsey, that gave them the lead. Then they lost that lead, and then they came back to Malik Deadman, the touchdown run, and they win it 30-24. Sealed it with a couple of interceptions at the end. Good win for Bertie on the road. One other score from that conference, Tarboro stays undefeated, 46-6. Washington County, Gates County, waiting to hear that final score in that one. All right, a couple more highlights to show you, including the Battle Royale. Our Willis Insurance Blitzcam takes us up close and personal look at West Craven's band. Boy, did they have a thriller with Green Central. They were banging heads everywhere. We'll show you those highlights next on the Blitz. All right, time for our Blitz Battle Royale. Luke Schwartz back here with us to delve into the Eastern Plains Conference. West Craven, the preseason pick to win the title for the third straight year. So far, so good for the Eagles.
Yeah, and Mike Twitchell's crew won their first 3 EPC games, but Green Central said, don't forget about us. The Rams 3-1 in league play. Let's enter the fourth quarter where West Craven's band is trying to give the Eagles some juice up 21-20. DJ Davis reversed to Jeremiah Lay. Oh, wait, he's going to throw to Amari Boomer for the score. Eagles would not get the 2-point conversion, and they are leading now 27-20. Jay Wilson trying to give his team some encouragement, and Green Central responds with a Montreal Yancey Moore touchdown. Now, folks, it's 27-26, trailing by 1 point. For Green Central, they'll go for the 2-point conversion for Will Radford gets it. Rams go up 28-27 with 2 minutes to go. Green Central needs just 1 stop. But guess what DJ Davis has been doing all season? Finding his man deep downfield, Jimmy West for the touchdown. DJ Davis gets the 2-point conversion, and Coach Twitchell had a Mike Tomlin quote to inspire his team.
I'm a huge Mike Tomlin fan. I think he's a great coach, great motivator. One of his quotes is the boy's got to die so the man can live. And when we spin that, and just mentally, how we prepare, how we execute, how we handle adversity, we can't. I tell all guys, we can't play high school football like it's Pop Warner.
Craven hosts North Pitt next week after winning their 4th game in a row tonight.
All right, the Panthers coming up their first Eastern Plains Conference win, hosted a Washington team looking for its first league win, and they wouldn't get it tonight because C.J. Wilson's squad looked pretty good in Bethel as they took it to those Pan Packers. Despite Washington completing this pass, they'd stuff them 42-0. North Pitt gets that victory at home. Southwest Edgecombe trying to stay tied with West Craven for first place. They hosted Aiden Grifton, and those Cougars have been pretty good all year long. Now, AG would come out and actually score first in this game. But here comes Southwest Edgecombe with that patented running game, and they would roll from there on out as they have that star running back who is Damon Winstead, and Southwest Edgecombe gets the win over Aiden Grifton, 49-20. Our bonus game, North Duplin lost its Carolina Conference opener last week. The Rebels trying to rebound at home against Union. It was homecoming in Calypso in the greater Faison area. Union only had 1 score of the night, and unfortunately we got it. North Duplin does get the win, though, at home, 49-6. We'll try to do better next week. All right, let's clean things up with our Connecticut Water System scoreboard. One of the Carolina Conference score, it was Hobton taking it to Lakewood. Clinton shut out Midway, and Beddingfield over Eastern Wayne. One more scoreboard for you from the Northeastern Coastal Conference. Edenton shuts out First Flight, Northeastern stays undefeated, and Camden County loses to Hertford County. So that's week 9 in the books. 2 more weeks to go of the regular season.
Already?
A lot to be decided, and then the playoffs after that.
A lot of fun.
Somebody alarm just go off? Did I hear something? See ya.